For billions of years, the solar system has looked stable. 8 planets orbit the Sun in predictable paths, following the same rules of gravity that we can calculate with incredible precision. But far beyond Neptune, something doesn't fit. Out in the outer solar system, small icy worlds are moving in ways they shouldn't. Their orbits are stretched, tilted, and strangely aligned, as if something massive is pulling on them from the darkness. At first, scientists thought it was just coincidence, random objects scattered by the chaos of the early solar system. But the more we discovered, the less random it looked. Some researchers now think the only explanation is that something huge is hiding far beyond Neptune, a planet we haven't seen, a planet we didn't know was there. And if it's real, it means the solar system is not as complete as we thought, because something out there is pulling the outer solar system. For most of history, the outer solar system was thought to be simple. Beyond Neptune, there was nothing but small icy debris left over from the formation of the planets, fragments that never became worlds, scattered into distant cold orbits far from the Sun. This region is known as the Kuiper Belt, a vast ring of frozen objects stretching billions of miles into space, filled with dwarf planets, comets, and ancient leftovers from the early solar system. For a long time, astronomers assumed these objects moved in random paths, shaped only by the gravity of the Sun and the giant planets closer in. And for the most part, that's exactly what we see. But not always. As telescopes improved, scientists began finding objects much farther out than expected. Worlds moving on extremely long, stretched orbits that can take thousands of years to complete. Some travel so far from the Sun that they spend most of their time in near total darkness. At first, these discoveries weren't surprising. The outer solar system is chaotic, and strange orbits are not unusual on their own. What was strange was that some of these objects didn't seem random at all. Their orbits were tilted in similar ways. They pointed in roughly the same direction, and their closest approach to the Sun happened in the same region of space. Individually, this wouldn't mean much, but as more of these distant objects were discovered, the pattern became harder to ignore. It started to look less like coincidence, and more like something was guiding them. Gravity can do that. A large enough object can slowly pull smaller ones into similar paths over millions of years, shaping their orbits without ever coming close to them. The problem was, there was nothing known in that part of the solar system big enough to cause it. No planet, no star, nothing that could explain why these distant worlds all seemed to be moving under the influence of the same invisible force. And that left scientists with a possibility that sounded unlikely at first. Something massive might be out there. The first real sign that something might be wrong came with the discovery of objects far beyond Pluto. Not just small chunks of ice in the Kuiper Belt, but entire worlds traveling on orbits so large that they barely feel the Sun's gravity at all. One of the most famous of these objects is Sedna. Discovered in 2003, Sedna follows an orbit unlike anything seen before. At its closest point to the Sun, it is still billions of miles away, far beyond Neptune. And at its farthest point, it travels so far out that a single orbit takes more than 10,000 years to complete. Sedna alone was strange, but not impossible. The outer solar system is full of leftovers from the violent early days of planet formation, and unusual orbits can happen when objects are scattered by giant planets. The real mystery started when more objects like Sedna were found. Over the years, astronomers discovered several distant worlds with similarly stretched orbits, all traveling far beyond the main Kuiper Belt. These objects were not just far away, they also shared another strange feature. Their orbits seemed to point in the same direction. Instead of being scattered randomly around the sun, many of these distant objects had their closest approach lined up in roughly the same region of space. Their paths were tilted in similar ways, and their long, oval-shaped orbits appeared to follow the same invisible pattern. At first, this didn't seem like much. With only a few objects, patterns can appear by chance. But as more were discovered, the alignment didn't go away. In fact, the odds of this happening randomly turned out to be extremely low. Simulations showed that if nothing was influencing these objects, their orbits should be spread out in every direction. Over millions of years, gravity from the giant planets should have scrambled them completely. Instead, they looked organized, as if something far away had been slowly shaping their motion for billions of years. And the only thing known to create patterns like that is gravity from a large, unseen object. In 2016, two astronomers at Caltech, Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown, decided to take a closer look at the strange pattern in the outer solar system. Instead of assuming the alignment was a coincidence, they asked a different question. What kind of object could actually cause this? They ran simulations, testing how different planets would affect the distant objects beyond Neptune. Small planets didn't work. Even something the size of Earth wasn't strong enough to keep those orbits aligned for billions of years. But when they added a much larger planet, the pattern started to make sense. According to their calculations, the outer solar system could be explained by a hidden world about 5 to 10 times the mass of Earth. A planet large enough to shape the motion of distant objects, but far enough away that it would be extremely difficult to see. This hypothetical world became known as Planet 9. If it exists, Planet 9 would orbit the Sun hundreds of billions of miles away, far beyond Neptune and the Kuiper Belt. One trip around the Sun could take 10 to 20,000 years, meaning it would move so slowly across the sky that spotting it would be incredibly difficult. At that distance, sunlight would be faint, making the planet appear as nothing more than a dim point of light even through powerful telescopes. But the idea wasn't based on imagination. The math worked. When Planet 9 was included in the simulations, the strange alignment of distant objects appeared naturally. Their tilted orbits, their stretched paths, and their shared direction could all be explained by the gravity of one large, unseen planet moving far beyond the known edge of the solar system. For the first time, the strange motions of these distant worlds had a possible answer. Not a passing star, not random chance, but a planet we haven't found yet. If a planet several times the mass of Earth is really out there, it raises an obvious question. Why haven't we seen it yet? After all, every other planet in the solar system was found centuries ago. Even Neptune, which cannot be seen with the naked eye, was discovered in the 1800s. So how could something so large still be hiding today? The answer comes down to distance. Planet 9, if it exists, would be far beyond the region where the known planets orbit. Neptune circles the Sun at about 3 billion miles away. The Kuiper Belt stretches farther out, but even that is only the beginning. The orbit predicted for Planet 9 could take it hundreds of billions of miles from the Sun. At that distance, sunlight is incredibly weak. The planet would not shine brightly like Jupiter or Saturn. It would reflect only a tiny amount of light, making it extremely difficult to detect even with powerful telescopes. There is also the problem of speed. Planets closer to the Sun move quickly across the sky, making them easier to notice. But something that far away would move very slowly. Over the course of a year, it might shift only a tiny amount against the background stars, making it almost impossible to spot unless you know exactly where to look. And that's the real challenge. The outer solar system is enormous. The area where Planet 9 could be hiding covers a huge portion of the sky, far more than astronomers can search all at once. Even with modern observatories, scanning that much space takes time. Some surveys have already ruled out parts of the sky, but large regions remain unexplored. It's possible the planet is there, just too dim and too far away to be seen yet. And until it's actually observed, the idea of Planet 9 remains only a theory that explains what we see, but still hasn't shown us the planet itself. If Planet 9 really exists, it wouldn't just be another planet added to the list. It would change our understanding of how the solar system formed. For a long time, scientists believed the solar system was mostly stable after the planets finished forming. The giant planets settled into their orbits, the smaller worlds remained closer to the sun, and the outer regions were left filled with debris that never became planets. But a distant planet, several times the mass of Earth, doesn't fit easily into that picture. One possibility is that Planet 9 formed closer to the Sun, along with the other planets, and was later thrown outward during the chaotic early days of the solar system. When Jupiter and Saturn were still moving through the young disk of gas and debris, their gravity could have scattered smaller planets into distant orbits. Instead of being ejected completely, one of those planets may have been pushed far away, left traveling on a long, stretched path around the Sun, where it has remained ever since. Another possibility is even stranger. Planet 9 might not have formed here at all. Some models suggest the Sun could have captured a planet from another star billions of years ago, when the solar system was still inside the dense star cluster where it was born. In that environment, stars passed much closer to each other than they do today, and it's possible that a wandering planet could have been pulled into orbit around the Sun. If that happened, the solar system may contain a world that didn't originally belong here. Either way, the existence of Planet 9 would mean the outer solar system is far more complex than we once believed. The neat picture of 8 planets orbiting the Sun would no longer be complete. There would be something else out there, moving slowly through the darkness, shaping the motion of objects billions of miles away without ever coming close enough to be seen. And that would mean we still don't fully understand our own solar system. As convincing as the Planet 9 theory is, there's one problem. No one has seen the planet. For years, astronomers have been searching the outer solar system, scanning the sky for anything that could match the predicted orbit. Powerful telescopes have ruled out some regions, but the planet itself has never been found. And that leaves open another possibility. What if Planet 9 isn't there at all? The strange alignment of distant objects is real, but the explanation might be wrong. Instead of a hidden planet, the pattern could be the result of something we don't fully understand yet. Some scientists think the orbits may only look aligned because of how we discover these objects. Telescopes don't search the sky evenly, and that can create patterns that aren't really there. If that's the case, the outer solar system might not need another planet to explain it. Others have suggested more unusual ideas. It's possible that a passing star billions of years ago disturbed the outer solar system, leaving behind objects on stretched and tilted paths that still haven't settled down. Another theory suggests that the gravity of many small objects together could create the same effect as one large planet. There are even proposals that the answer could involve physics we don't fully understand yet, though most scientists consider that unlikely. Right now, the truth is that we don't know. The motion of these distant worlds still needs an explanation, but until something is actually seen, Planet 9 remains a possibility, not a discovery. Either there is a massive planet far beyond Neptune, or there is something about the outer solar system we still don't understand. For centuries, the solar system seemed complete. 8 planets, moving in predictable paths, following the same laws of gravity we use to understand the rest of the universe. It felt like we already knew what was out there. But the outer solar system is still full of unanswered questions. Far beyond Neptune, small icy worlds are moving in ways that shouldn't happen by chance. Their orbits are stretched, tilted, and strangely aligned, as if something massive has been shaping their motion for billions of years. Planet 9 is one possible answer. A hidden world, far from the sun, too distant and too dark to be easily seen, but large enough to pull on objects billions of miles away. And if it's real, it means the solar system isn't as simple as we thought. There may still be planets we haven't found, worlds moving slowly through the darkness, so far away that we've only noticed them by the way they affect everything else. And until we know for sure, one thing remains true. Something huge might still be pulling the outer solar system. Join us next time as we explore more mysteries of the universe.